Live and direct, put in perspective.
Live and direct, put in perspective. It's your boy B Mad. Got my brother Raymundo, Telemundo. Hit your SAP button. And we here, baby. This is episode 1,000,000, whatever that is. We get into a lot of topics tonight, man. It's probably a mixed bag. We're discussing J. Cole, get into a little bit of Kobe, a little Kendrick, Drake, a little mixed bag of everything, man. We had something lined up special, but again, it was a little sideline. So basically we winging it tonight, man. But nonetheless, we got some ill shit lined up for y'all. So what's good, Ray?
Well, we start this from Santo Domingo, then we go to Panama, then we go to Miami, then we're back in Nueva York. But I'm good, man. I'm good. NBA playoffs starting. But yeah, I think we start this thing off with Game. 05 was Game.
2005 when Game dropped his album. And I remember a lot of people, we being from New York. I don't know, it was something about the Game that was just different. Like lyrically, he didn't sound like a Cali dude. I mean, but he rapped. You knew he was from Cali. But he just sounded different. Lyrically, he just sounded different than a lot of people at that time. And when the documentary dropped, I was blown the fuck away, bro. I bought that album first day. I was working in the airport. And I copped it the same day it dropped. And it came with the DVD, the making of the documentary and all that. I'm like, this shit is fucking ill. When just from the intro from what's the first song? Hold on. I want to give it justice, man. Whoa. West Side Story, like with 50, like that. Song? Yeah. There's an intro, and then there's the West Side Story is the first song. And then from West Side Story, he goes into Dreams by Kanye. Dreams got to be one of the illest hip-hop songs I ever heard. By far. That is a fucking ill song, man.
Like top 100?
Not top 100, but it's one of my personal favorite hip-hop songs.
That shit is like
Kanye's drums on that shit is insane, bro.
Kanye's drums are probably Dr. Dre's drums.
Probably sped up. Probably.
Yeah.
But it's the way that Game, he's basically explaining his origin story and just why he started rapping. I woke up out that coma 2001. At the same time, Drake dropped 2001, which is a lie, because the Chronic 2001 came out in 99. So Game is fibbing on that shit. But anyway, I get it. For sake of rhyme wise, the album's incredible. Then from that goes into Hate It or Love It. Now, mind you, a lot of these songs were 50 Cent songs. Like 50 gave the Game. They were supposed to be on 50's next album. It was supposed to be for the Massacre. But, the situation, Dre needed someone to really push Game. 50 at the time was the man. It was only right he got with G-Unit. And that helped Game really get promoted. Pushed him out there. Get him the exposure. The songs that 50 gave him, whatever, they're fucking damn near. If they're not classic, they're damn near. Because Hate It or Love It is incredible.
You brought this up because we were saying even if you don't like the rapper or the artist, they put the album on, you go, oh, I can't deny this.
Yeah. And I felt that way about the Game. I was like, just thought he was annoying. I know he had the beef. He was, making the beef with Jay-Z. He started dissing The Rock. He started dissing the Young Guns. He had some beef. He brought Cat Williams into the beef with the Young Guns. It was silly. He was taking shots at Jay. That's how Jay had the freestyle on Hot 97 over the Black Rob Can I Live joint.
Yeah, but we were talking about Kendrick Lamar. I think the whole discussion is, what is a classic? And
what is a classic? A classic album. It's definitely got to be timeless, because timeless is a part of that. The cohesion, the way an album flows. You said it earlier, fluidity. The way an album can be fluid. The way it can just be sewn and sequenced together. the way they flow into other songs, how they keep up with a theme, a sound, the lyricism. It doesn't have to be over the top lyricism. It's the way everything meshes together. The cohesion makes things a classic. There's a lot of great albums. There's a lot of great albums in hip hop that we like, we think are classics and damn near classic. And I think we overrate certain albums. But there's certain albums that give you a certain feel. Like, you just feel like, this one feels different. Like Good Kid, Mad City, that just felt different. To me, the Blueprint, Jay-Z, the Blueprint felt different. Illmatic felt different for people in '94. That was just different. Like, it changed the game. Even the Chronic, you say you're not the biggest fan. You don't think the Chronic is a classic. The way it's set up and the way it's orchestrated is just different. It just felt like, it's something different here, man. Like, I don't know. And it's certain music that just, like, it can cross over regions. It can affect people a certain way, wherever you live. And I think that defines like a classic album. Like, there's a few albums like that. You said you only think there's like 10 hip hop albums that are really truly classic.
Because I don't think there's that many geniuses. I don't think there's that many. It's very rare, and everybody else is just copying. Like, that's why they say the geniuses are the best. Are genius copies. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just. It's I guess it's hard to explain, but for me, I know Basquiat, the artist, now his name Jean-Michel Basquiat.
Yeah,
he's now Jay-Z popularized him, whatever. But if you look at his painting,
he was popular for that, but
he wasn't as popular as he is now. His paintings.
But he was.
So, but when you see a painting of his, it looks like it's all over the place. It looks like a kid drew it. But when you look at it, you don't know. Everyone could feel a different kind of way. But I think he got his point across. Like, he expressed all of that is on that canvas, and then it just somehow worked. And that's what a classic of anything is. It's expression. So when you hear, I don't think that the Chronic is a classic, but I think Doggy Style is a classic. I think it's the best. It might be the best rap album ever. So maybe it speaks to me a different way, or I was able to understand everything that was produced out of that album.
So let me ask you this: you think Doggy Style is better than Good Kid, Mad City?
Yes, and Good Kid, Mad City is.
I don't know.
Top 10. There is just what I get from Doggy Style. If I were to listen to it right now, and I never heard, and I think this is probably the best way to describe this shit. If I was able to listen to any album for the first time ever, genre, whatever genre, you just press play and you go, what is this? You hear that, and you just hear the sound, and you try to put it together. Then you're listening to the content, like, yo, what are they talking about? There's a lot of violence. It's a lot of shootouts. It's a lot of sex with women. There's nobody, obviously nobody's gay. It's almost like homophobic. It's funny. It's fun. The first thing you think is there's no way this guy is 30 years old or 40 years old. This guy got to be 18 years old, 19 years old. The way he's talking, the way he's rapping, the way he's flowing, just off that. And immediately the next feeling, you're just going to have fun with it. And I think that was the point of Doggy Style. The Chronic was way more serious of an album. It had way more serious content than Doggy Style. It was way more mature. And of course, I think it's because Dr. Dre was at a different point in his life.
Absolutely.
He eventually wanted to get the hell out of there with Death Row and everything that we know about now. But, and maybe, look, I'm saying that off the Chronic just by listening to it. I can understand that Dr. Dre was not in his early 20s when he made the Chronic.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it was fun. There were fun moments, but there was a lot of seriousness to the Chronic. Maybe that was Ice Cube's outside influence, like indirect influence, because he didn't write anything on there, but
maybe.
And Public Enemy's influence. There was a seriousness now that had to be introduced to making music. So I guess long story long, or long-winded answer is just, is the fluidity to an album. Even if you see like look at the wall right here. It's all these, there's a bunch of different colors on the wall.
Right.
it's supposed to be broken glass, and it's like it makes sense when you look at it, but it's all different colors. It doesn't. It's not. It might not mesh if you think about it. If I describe it to you without you seeing it, once you see it, you go, "Oh, that shit goes together." I understand it. It makes sense to me, and that's what the artist's job is. But when it comes to music, it's a combination of artists that make this thing happen. So to compose it that way. When I think of the word classic, I think of classical music. I think of Beethoven making a symphony, which is 15 minutes long, and you're going to hit different points of the song that don't even sound like they should be next to each other, but they are. So I think a classic album should be fluid and follow the composition of a symphony.
But I mean, to your point, it's parts of a Beethoven, like a classical song, like certain songs that just sound different. And there's sections of classical music that are popularized just for that segment. And and people recognize it and don't realize like the full extent of that song, how it's really orchestrated, and you just hearing a portion of it. I think that's that just comes with like a lot of rap albums. The rap albums, there's certain ones that like, all right, this song might be different than the other one, but the way they come up together, it meshes. Like, oh, this shit, okay, I get it. You can't just listen to one song and then like, all right, like you can hear it as a single. Sometimes singles hurt albums, not just hip hop. I think in general, certain singles, because people will hear a single and be like, all right, I don't get it. But once you hear the whole full project together as one, you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
But what you said with Kendrick, what we're saying, Mel he thinks Kendrick is whack. And it's like, if for me, I never thought Kendrick Lamar was going to be the next one. We get to the J. Cole shit later on. I thought J. Cole was supposed to be what Kendrick is now. This deep, intricate storytelling Nas. And it turns out it was more like Kendrick is that. And the way you and KG just put it with that the song Real ends with the musical Real ending and rewinding, and then we hear the beginning of the next song, which is Compton, and that correlates to the song Real also.
Listen,
that's insane.
The detail, and that's why I'm like, listen, certain albums just stand out from other albums in hip hop, or just in albums in general. Like you just know, like, yo, there's certain albums, like, yo, this ain't no regular. This ain't something you just pop in, like, all right, you bob in your head, you might love it, but nah, this one is different. Like Good Kid, Mad City is one of those albums just different. To me, Damn was another one of those. It just gets overlooked. I don't think it got appreciated enough. I know it won Best Rap Album that year, but that album, that's the way Kendrick puts albums together, man. The cohesion, the craftsmanship, like that has to be looked at and appreciated, man, because we don't see that all the time. And that's my thing with certain albums, classic albums. Like it's certain albums like you just knew this just stood out from the others. Like it just stood out. Like this is like something different. It just felt like, yo, this is a lot of albums that can bring you to a time and make you feel a certain way. That's the nostalgia. Yeah, because you could hear a certain album and like, yo, it brings me back to 96 or 97, 98, whatever year you felt. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a classic. There's just certain albums I feel like, yo, just as a complete project, just sound like, yo, it could probably be a skip here and there, but it just together as a piece of art, like all the songs as a collective, like you just know, like, all right, this feels different. This is a classic album, and there's not too many of those, and that's why that was my whole point the other day when I said about the War Report. Like, I love the War Report. I love that album. I don't think it's a classic album. Like, there's moments on there like, yo, this is crazy, it's ill. But I'm like, as a project as a whole, it didn't feel like, yo, this is a classical piece of art. It didn't feel like that to me. It still doesn't feel that way, but I love it.
Did you feel that way when you heard J. Cole's album, his new album recently?
I didn't hit it. That's one thing I didn't hit. It's crazy. My cousin lives in California. my cousin Junior from California, he's from Sacramento. He called me earlier today and asked me if I heard the whole album. I only heard the first 4 songs, and then not because I didn't want to. It was just I was just tired. I stayed up late that midnight when it dropped, and I love when I heard, but I haven't. I still have not heard the whole project in full yet. So I can't even give you a critique and give you like, yo, this album is ill. I can't even say that yet. So, did you hear it in full? Did you hear it?
Damn near, I didn't realize I heard most of it until when I was driving to work earlier today, and me and Ingrid were in the car, and I'm like, let me listen to the J. Cole album. I thought I didn't listen to it, but I heard most of it already, and I'm like, I like most of these songs. It's just I don't like, just like Nas, I don't like J. Cole popping shit. I don't know where he gets this level of, like, no disrespect to him. He's 6'4" or some shit. He'll probably beat my ass, whatever. But he doesn't. That's not like the swagger, braggadocious kind of. I don't get that from him. So I don't know why he would try that. It just comes off inauthentic. Just J. Cole to me is probably the best rapper, one of the best rappers I've ever heard in my life. Like the way he begins a bar and the way he ends it, he has the suspense factor that anybody who writes any sort of movie script, song, book, when you have it could be a love story, it could be whatever. But when you have that, when you have the ability to write suspense like that and catch me every time and have that wit, that's amazing. But he just doesn't have the it factor. He just doesn't to me. Like, I don't really care. I don't go back and listen to J. Cole songs or albums, me personally. And I think a lot of people don't. I don't think a lot of people do. And going back to what we said about Kendrick, J. Cole will guest appear in your song and torture you. I don't know if I've ever really heard J. Cole out rap like that. Ever. I don't know that.
Wait, what?
I don't think anybody really out rap J. Cole like that. The only one I got is Drake on the Jodeci joint. I think Drake bodied him. But that's very rare because J. Cole's, he has, like, if this was basketball or sports, he has like the all athletic ability to do anything. Yeah. He just doesn't have that wow factor. And it's no disrespect to him. It's just what we said about like Kendrick, how Kendrick's able to weave into like these depths of a story and tie all these sounds together, all this wordplay together. KG said it earlier where we can't even necessarily like repeat these lyrics with Kendrick, but he has the it factor. It just is what it is. And I could rock with J. Cole. He sounds like a dude, like a man. Like Kendrick sounds like a little, like has that little Wayne flow, like yeah. They sound like little boys damn near. But he makes better records. He makes better albums. He just has that conceptual. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it. And I don't mean to disrespect J. Cole, man. Don't kick me in the face with your dreads, man. Please.
Listen, I loved KOD, J. Cole's last album. I think that was slept on. Just the fact, I guess the reputation, people feel like he makes snooze-worthy music and they hate the singing. You said they hate the singing. They hate the fact that he produces a lot of his work. A lot of people don't like him as a producer. Again, I don't know. I appreciate what he's done. I love Forest Hills Drive. That is probably to me that's his best album.
That's his best
easily.
album.
I haven't listened to this one, but I don't know. But that is easily to me his best album. I've had arguments with people say Born Sinner. I'm like, nah, that shit ain't fucking with Forest Hills Drive. No way. When I first heard Forest Hills Drive, I was like, yo, this. See, that's one. It's certain albums like, yo, you just like you feel like certain artists like they got in a zone. I felt like he was in a zone on that album. Like it just felt like the sounds, the way it meshed. He had a theme, like it just sounded. It was great. He had a tour with that album. Like it felt different. I didn't get that with Born Sinner. I didn't get that with what's the first album? Oh my god, I'm kicking myself. I don't remember the.
He's sitting on the not Forest Hills Drive. That's
when he's sitting on the bench in the locker room, whatever.
Mr. Nice Watch.
Yeah, with Jay, I didn't like that.
That was the problem with the album, that it felt like they were trying to go for the commercial route. And after hearing
Maybe.
Simba, like that's the other thing with J. Cole. After hearing Simba, I heard Lights Please, the acoustic version, and I could not believe what I heard. And
That was ill.
I thought he was on his way to be the next. Oh, he's the next guy.
I mean, yo, listen, even with that, he's still the three-headed monster of the last decade or so is still Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. Like, even love or hate them, you cannot deny what they've done. Even if you're not a fan of J. Cole, he's put it down. And he's done it without besides his first album, he's really done it with no features, without any features on his album. I mean, this one, he got features on there, I know that. But he's carved the lane for himself. Like, he didn't really lean on Jay and Rock Nation, like, oh, I need that support, or I need a Jay verse on every album. He did shit his way. He's his own artist. That's one thing I give to him. Like, I don't feel like he had an identity crisis after Born Sinner. Like, I feel like Forest Hills Drive after that, he just like he's doing his own shit. And I think the respect factor comes into play for that. Like, there's no denying what he's done. Lyrically, he's gotten better over time than me. Lyrically.
I think all these guys go through an identity crisis being that famous, that young. That's a crazy thing to go through. I think he definitely relied on his Rock Nation and whatever other deal. You cannot not rely on it.
Not as much as you think. Listen, you don't hear him bring up Jay in a conversation. You don't hear him talk about Jay-Z in the promotion. He does not say anything about Rock. Like, he doesn't go to that. He doesn't have to.
Why does he?
He's his own artist.
But why does he have to reference anything? They're gonna do it for him.
No, bro. But see,
on the label,
you wouldn't. All right, unless because if you didn't know he was signed to Rock Nation, unless he told you, like, all right, we know that because he's on Rock Nation. But if you listen to any of his albums, like, if I never told you he was signed to Rock Nation, you wouldn't think that.
Yeah,
you wouldn't think that. He's became his own. He's became his own man, and that's why there's a lot of artists that don't lean on a cosign. Like, yeah, maybe in the beginning, obviously, yeah. But as his further career, he doesn't have to go into that bag. Like, he can make albums without anybody for the rest of his career because he already has his own. He has a fan base. Like, he's established.
I don't think of any artist and think of Rock Nation either, though. The only artist I think of when I think of Rock Nation is Jay-Z. So
that's and there's a reason for that. Jay purposely done that. I'm just saying
that's too much towards trying to give this dude credit. I'm not into that. I'm talking about J. Cole, and he's able to reach these radio stations, put these videos and this. All of that is set up for him to do because he's a signed artist. He's signed to that management company. They have the connections. They're in the game. That's just is what it is. He cannot put out these songs and be J. Cole and sell like that. He's not going to do that without being signed.
He's done it. He's not. Bro. He's
never been.
Bro, wait. Hold on. You forgetting what era we in. You don't have to. You don't need a co-sign from nobody now. You promote yourself. What? You don't need to sell records like that. He's made a fan base. He's went platinum how many times? And this is the meme. J. Cole did it without no features. Like, bro, he doesn't need a promotion. He's hardly promoted any of these last albums. Besides Forest Hills Drive, what he had a tour about, and, the whole Dreamville, he promotes his own label. He has not really leaned on promotion. He talks about it. The freestyle he just put out. I'm wearing bummy clothes. I'm wearing hoodies and stuff like that. Without, you know what I mean? I got $100 million or whatever. He's doing it without the record label push. He's promoting himself. You don't need a record label push nowadays. He's a prime example of this. He's shown it over the last 3 albums, the last 4 albums, if you want to be real.
Okay, but even if that's true, he still had that early on.
It's true.
Okay, but he still needed that early on to cement this.
Of course.
Okay, so that doesn't happen without the push. It just doesn't, and he needed that the first half of this decade.
No, he didn't. Bro, you're forgetting.
What?
He on the first half of the decade?
Yes.
Right, the first 2 albums. The first album, yes, obviously. Born Sinner, you started seeing the shift. Forest Hills Drive, there was no mention of a Jay-Z, of a Rock Nation.
Listen, you're still stuck on the fact of name dropping. No,
I'm not name dropping, bro. I have to bring this facts up to tell this story. He's done this without that push. That's just my point. He's done that without that push. He
So
doesn't
J.
need
Cole,
that. He
so
can
J.
leave
Cole,
Rock Nation and still sell what he's selling right now.
yes, now.
Okay.
But back then, J. Cole wasn't on the radio all day, every day.
Obviously, bro.
So then that's the push. The gimmick is that he is this, just like Kendrick Lamar. The gimmick, just like Macklemore, the gimmick is that they are these independent artists that are not truly independent. They are signed. That has been a gimmick.
But
That's
all
nothing
right,
new.
but when
And that's no
listen,
disrespect to J. Cole.
listen. After Born Sinner, when he started promoting himself and he started staying true to himself, he even said this. Like he felt like he was doing too many. That's why he made I Let Nas Down. This is my example. He made I Let Nas Down. There's a reason why he made that record. Because he probably felt like, yeah, I'm leaning on the label. I'm leaning on these singles. I'm leaning on these features. There's a reason why. There's an identity. He went through that identity crisis. Bro, case closed.
That's not case closed. That
Yes, it is.
song, the title to that song still has me in stitches. But that song is really good.
It is.
Yeah, it's really good. But I still think he even during Forest Hills Drive, those singles are on the radio all day, every day. You need, if this is still during streaming, say what you want, you still need that. I mean, not need that, but you still can use that. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt, but what I'm telling you is this. We'll name the singles on Forest Hills Drive.
I don't know the names of them, but the one where he's talking about being a virgin, the other one with Don't Save Her, this guy that they sampled 3 6 Mafia on that.
Yeah, 3 6.
The two main singles, and they were on the radio all day,
but
every day.
Those songs are not. Those not your typical singles that you hear in this era, right or wrong. Yeah, they singles, but then it didn't feel like, yo, this is something that's gonna go pop. This is for the radio. I don't think he made that purposely, intentionally for the radio. Those songs sound authentic,
bro. But that's a different subject. My point is that he got radio played at the typical person that's not on Rock Nation.
I just think those cuts were just that good.
And I'm not saying they were bad. They were really good songs. Those are amazing songs. That album is amazing.
Okay.
But a truly independent artist is not getting 2 songs on the radio like that. They need a plug. There's no way you do.
In what era? This era of all eras right now that we are in with social media, you don't need a middleman. You don't need a major label. You can make a song like that and it'll go like boom. It'll go pop.
I don't know about pop.
Not pop, but I'm saying it'd be popular. Like it'd get airplay.
It depends.
That's not possible.
It depends because so many people are. Look at Russ. So many people are so popular without the radio nowadays. But Russ was. I don't know if he still is truly independent.
Russ Demon.
Is that his name? The Italian kid with the long hair?
Yeah, Russ Demon. Yeah.
I didn't know his name was Demon. That's kind of crazy.
Or Damon, whatever this shit is spelled. I don't know.
Okay. But he's supposed to be a truly independent artist. And he didn't have these singles on the radio. The first one was the one with like the bed squeaking.
I think he's managed. Well, I mean, yeah, I think he is independent, but I know he's managed by Rock Nation.
He might be now. But the way he did it was amazing. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's managed by them now, and that's cool. But this guy, J. Cole's not just signed to Rock Nation, he's signed to a major label. So that's my point. He went that route, and there's nothing wrong with that because so is Drake. Like you can't be that big of an artist and not be signed. I don't see that happening. Every big artist is signed. That's true to this day. Cardi B is the biggest. She's signed. Drake, name them. Who's the biggest independent artist? Russ is one of them. I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be signed to get on the radio and to be that popular. And I don't know if any of J. Cole's songs will make the radio this time, but he definitely gets radio play because he's on there with 21 Savage all the time. They got a little formula together.
But certain songs are just that good for to be on radio. I don't think. Like I just think the way things are set up now, like it's certain songs like you just know this shit is good. And I don't think it's just like, all right, we making this for the radio. It's gonna be. It just so happens like, yo, this song is that good, and we're gonna push it as a single. I don't think, I honestly, truly, I don't see the need to have a label. Like, there's no need to have a major label nowadays, man. It doesn't.
I'm not saying you do need one. All I'm saying is that he is on one, and you can't get on radio without that plug. That's how it's always been.
I don't believe that.
They pay them. This is they do the payola thing. They do whatever it is that they do, however they pay each other off. This is just how it is. Rihanna's gonna get on the radio. Beyonce's gonna get on the radio.
I think at this point, listen, Rihanna, Beyonce, J. Cole, they could all leave whatever label they signed to. Because of how popular they are, they're gonna get radio play without a label. I mean, that's just who they are. I just think you can be a popular artist. You don't need a label. Like, I don't think J. Cole needs that Rock Nation push. I think he doesn't need them to still get radio play, bro. You really think that?
That's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that he got the radio play. That's how he started his career.
But I'm telling you, I get how he started his career. But the last 4 albums that he's put out, they haven't been commercial. There hasn't been too many commercial cuts.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
All right, and he's done pretty well without having that label push.
Yeah, he's done. Yes, he's good like that of an artist.
So what are we saying here?
I forgot the fucking point, to be honest. But all I was trying to say was that J. Cole started he has that push available. He has it there, whether he wants it now or not. It's gonna be there. They're gonna guarantee they make their money back. But I don't even know how we started this fucking topic. We spoke about it for too fucking long. But I think the comparison between if it's him, Kendrick, and Drake, how would you rank them now?
Kendrick is number one. As far as like just the amount of quality. Like, yeah, Drake has the quantity and with quality too. I just think Kendrick, as far as the albums, he's made the best albums out of all of them. He has not missed. Like, bodies of work. I appreciate bodies of work. I appreciate whole projects and albums. It's not a Drake album that I feel like, yo, this from beginning to end, this shit is ill. I have not listened, and I'm not. I maybe to Drake fans, they probably like, oh, you bugging. I'm sorry, there's not a Drake album that I've actually listened to from beginning to end. Like, yo, this shit is fucking complete. It feels cohesive. This is dope. I have not like there's Drake songs I love, but like far as albums, there's not an album I love. Oh, there's no Drake album that I love. Like, yo, this is like I fuck with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Drake has great songs, great features, great singles. You're always on the radio. I'll never knock that man for that. Never. But far as album wise, he's missed.
So who's number 2? Drake.
Number 2 is Drake is number 2. Cole is 3.
Okay. That's rough because Drake has so many songs outside of his album, and they all have different techniques.
Yeah, they're all different. There's not too many similarities with them. I mean, just them coming up at the Saints, Drake and Cole. I know they 08, 09.
Yeah,
that's when they started bubbling.
Like, I don't expect you don't look for Kendrick to boost your record. Drake is the instant.
Drake is the stimulus package.
Yeah, he's the instant boost. He's the mushroom in Super Mario. He's the flower or whatever. He just and Kendrick is not that, and neither is J. Cole in a sense.
Yeah.
But I think off of who I would want to rap like is J. Cole. After saying all that, I just don't see any flaws in his technique in terms of just wordplay and the way he says stuff and his wit. Drake is not consistent enough in rapping, if that's the case. But we talking about just making music. The last 10 years, I gotta put Drake number 1. I gotta put Drake number 1, Kendrick number 2, and I got J. Cole's number 3 also. If I wanted to rap like any one of them, it'll be J. Cole. That's who I want to rap like. Like Drake gotta be the most, I don't say inauthentic, but I would say the most inauthentic one. Because he always had
Yeah.
his chameleon style. He copied somebody else's style, like, and Kendrick, as opposed to Kendrick, who combined a bunch of style, and J. Cole, because they came after decades of different types of rappers, all types of rappers. They sound like they meshed into an organic, body of work, and Drake just sounded like he was copying everybody. Not that there's anything wrong with that. You could just copy whoever you want to do. It worked.
Yeah.
But as artists, production, I got Drake number 1, Kendrick number 2, and J. Cole number 3.
Yeah. As far as Drake, man, listen, it's hard not to appreciate any of these three. I mean, everyone's gonna have their opinion on all three of them. J. Cole's definitely the best lyricist out of all of them. Lyrically, I think he's better than Drake and Kendrick. Kendrick is the best artist to me. Like, far as like just the way he puts albums together, like he's miles ahead of both of Drake and J. Cole. Cole has better albums to me than Drake. Drake is just he's the it factor out of the three. Like he's for everybody. Like he caters to everyone, the women, the men. Like he's the cheat code. He makes R&B, he makes hip hop.
He crosses over.
So it's hard to deny what he's done. Like his weakest area for me is his albums. Like his bodies of work are not. They don't feel like, damn. Like I'm still waiting to hear like y'all. And I'm not wishing nothing bad. I know a lot of people don't like Drake. I want to hear a great Drake album. Like, yo, this feels dope. Like I'm like, all right, finally he did that. To me, I've not listened to it, and I listen to all his albums. There's not been a Drake album I feel like, yo, this is, oh man, this feels.
Yeah. It always feels like a pop effort. The last album that I really like from Drake is Views. And a lot of people didn't like that. I'm like, I like a lot of songs on this album. And after that, I just like, what was the last one? Scorpion? There's a couple on there that I like, but it's not like I still play Jaded here and there, but it's missing something. It is, he's made more fast food the last 5-6 years. It's been way more fast.
Yes.
He has Hotline Bling. And actually, dope. Take Care is really good, but so is the what's the one that came out right before Meek Mill started dissing him?
Oh, you talking about
10 Bands?
That's the mixtape. That's if you're reading this, it's too late. That was ill.
It was pretty good.
That was ill, and that wasn't even considered an album. That was considered a mixtape for him. He said that, but it's an album, whatever you want to call it.
You can say whatever.
Nothing was the same. A lot of people
like that. A lot of people consider that a classic too. But the number one that they closest to is Take Care.
Take Care, yeah. I actually like Thank Me Later. His debut album. It was decent, but it was not a classic. I feel like he was just trying to do too much. Like he was trying to live up to the hype because he had that hype after So Far Gone. That mixtape is incredible.
That might be his classic thing.
That might be. That So Far Gone was because when I heard it at the same time I was hearing Cole. And my cousin from Cali, my boy, my cousin Ernesto, he put me on. He was like, "Yo, B, you gotta hear this." Me and him was living in Newark at the time, and I'm like, "Yo, who? Drake? Like Degrassi, how the actor do?" I'm like, I didn't take him serious. And then when I heard So Far Gone, I was like, "Yo, this is dope." When I heard Successful with
Trey Songz,
and then I heard the joint with Wayne and
Jay-Z?
Nah. Jay-Z. Nah, with Bun B. Yeah, when I heard Uptown, I was like, "Whoo, this is dope." I love Uptown. It's one of my favorite hip hop songs. I love that shit. I could play that in the car and like, yo, change my mood. Love Uptown. I loved what's the other joint? The joint he had with Jeezy on there and Wayne.
And
I'm going in. That was
heavy.
Yeah.
That was heavy.
Yeah.
But that might be his classic. Like you don't have to. It doesn't have to be. That was the thing. Like after the mixtape, this is post mixtape era, like, because mixtapes became the demo. The last decade, everything was all mixtapes, and now it led to this last 10 years where it was like, do we really need albums?
Well,
what?
The streaming changed the game for that. The streaming changed the feel of how albums, really Apple did that with the iPod, with the selling the songs for 99 cents. Once that happened, it was like, yo, you don't need to buy the whole album. You just take the single, download it. People weren't appreciating projects.
The ringtone era too.
Ringtone era, yeah. Damn.
So there's a combination of stuff in that last decade with Soulja Boy popped off.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Soulja Boy has another hit, but it's all of that combined in the last decade, where it was the computers. It really is it's the computer game, because the ringtone thing came from being able to download stuff and having 4G and having a chip in your phone. So it was the internet that changed music, and it led to this decade, and where Drake is fully taking advantage of it, and Kendrick Lamar goes the whole opposite extreme and still takes the Prince route, Quincy Jones route.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, do we want to get into that, or are we just gonna leave that alone? Because there's a couple of things. Like Fat Joe said, DJ Khaled is the Quincy Jones.
Nah, we can leave that for another night. I don't got the energy. I don't have the energy for that.
Yeah, I have 2 seconds. Yo, Fat Joe, don't drink anymore. And
a lot of people. Yeah, I see that was trending on Twitter. A lot of people was pissed at Joe for that. Ever since he lost the weight, he went crazy.
Did I also say I don't like any DJ Khaled albums? I don't know what anybody's
like any. There's not any Khaled album that I'm like, yo, this is dope. Like his songs off of those albums, those compilations or whatever you want to call them, that here and there are dope. But as a whole, it hasn't been one that I'm like, yo, I ain't like go back. Look, it goes back to Drake. It's not a Drake album. I'm like, yo, this joint from beginning to end, or even just like, I don't got like every song, but I'm like, I feel like, yo, this album is dope. This is not a Khaled album. I feel like it's dope.
I'm on one was a DJ Khaled song, right?
Yes, that is that's probably the best.
The best. There is no song that he has ever made that competes with that shit. I don't know what anybody's talking about.
Yeah,
but call me crazy. I'm not.
No, I don't think. No, I'm trying to think. I'm looking through the singles. I just want to be fair. Let's see.
And that was a dope beat. 2, 3 lyrical flow, presence-wise rappers at their peak. Well, not their peak. Drake wasn't at his peak yet, but Lil Wayne was at his peak. Rick Ross was at his peak.
I think
it's crazy.
The closest to that probably is All I Do Is Win, just off impact.
I don't know. No lyrics on that.
No, but I'm just, it ain't got to be about the lyrics. It's about the song. Yeah.
To anthem. Man.
Wild Thoughts with Rihanna and Bryson Tiller.
That was
big. That was big.
It was, but it was cool. It's not I'm on one.
Nah, it's not.
I'm
just saying those 2 songs. Yeah, nah, we are in agreement. That's probably the best Khaled song.
I'm on one you could play with the fellas around in the club, strip club, at the bar, anywhere. Wild Thoughts. I'm not playing with me and you right now.
Nah. No. Nah, son. But yeah, I mean, I'm on one. That's it. Yeah, that's the one right there.
Live and direct, put it in perspective.